Okay, Duke Nelligan, the national coach for gymnastics. Very important meet coming up at the gymnastics facility in St. Davis this coming weekend. Last year was a big one.
Yes. We had about 75 athletes that came in, including the athletes that we have here training. This year's teams will come from the U.S. and Canada, Canada being a newcomer to our event. This is a prep meet for us. It's one of our criteria that's going to be used for choosing our Island Games team, which is going to be a very competitive program. We've got 12 young ladies that are training very hard right now, that all want to wear Bermuda on their leotard to represent. And as soon as Island Games over, our attention will shift to preparing for the international events that we feel are up and coming in the near future.
Now, just talking about the meets, and then the ultimate goal is to represent Bermuda at the Island Games. What are the criteria in order to make the team?
What we're doing is we sat down in October with the parents of the Island Game athletes, and we gave them a profile of what the athlete should look like. We gave them a training scenario that we could use. We looked at all the different aspects of preparation and said it is going to require a choice by the parents and the athletes to buy into this, because it is going to be time consuming. There will be choices that have to be made by parents and have to be made by athletes. Do I come to the gym an extra day to get more training in? Do I not go to my music lesson and go to Chicago to prepare my skills? These kind of questions are necessary for an elite athlete, because as we prepare for Island Games, my job, my vision is for Bermuda to be so prepared for these games that the meet is over as soon as our opponents walk in the door and see how prepared our youngsters are.
Now let's talk a little bit about this weekend coming up. We've put on these before.
Yes.
What's the expectation for the locals this time around?
You know, it started out to be a preparation more for our senior athletes. But what we saw the other day when we ran an in-house mock competition was our little mini-mites and hot shots and juniors were starting to adopt the stylizing and the performance of our senior athletes. And all of a sudden our senior athletes were like, whoa, who are these little hot shots coming up? They're going to be challenging soon. And what that means to us is that these events are not just preparing for Island Games. These events are teaching our youngsters how to be competitive on an international stage, how to stand up in front of a crowd and say, I'm not worried about it, I'm here to perform and I like it. I want people to come and watch me. Instead of being timid, instead of being shy, they're learning to be real performers. They're stars.
Now, we've seen last year you had boys involved, and this year they're actually competing.
Yes.
How is that improving the knowledge and the awareness of gymnastics amongst the males?
Well, what we're seeing is every time we go out and we do an exhibition, we were in front of Phoenix during the holidays. We did a little demonstration on the road. What we find is boys, when they see other boys doing gymnastics, they go, I didn't realize it was like that. And then they say, well, how can I get involved? And what we've done is we're starting to pull boys out of our Whitney program, out of our Sandy's program, out of our outreach programs like at a Cornerstone or at Bermuda Montessori. We invite those boys to come in and see what we're all about. And when they come in and say, well, I didn't know you bounced on trampoline, I didn't know that you could learn to flip, maybe this is something I want to try. And on top of that, we're reaching out to some of the gentlemen on the island and saying, listen, we need coaches. My philosophy is We are going to teach Bermudians, because when I finally retire, it's going to be a Bermudian run and operated system. It is going to be something that will go long after my enthusiasm is back in an easy chair watching football and basketball. And you know what? I will be able to look back on my time here in Bermuda and say, I really made a difference, because it wasn't about me. It was about Bermuda. It was about them seizing the opportunity to create a program that generates passion and enthusiasm for all our athletes.